Hello, and thank you for joining me. This is a full moon reading, a general tarot reading for the full moon in Virgo. This reading will not resonate with everyone, so if this resonates with you, take this. If it doesn't, please don't hold on to that, just release that. So, this is not only a full super moon in the sixth house of Virgo, which is a house, sixth house energy is health, habits, hobbies, routines, work, day to day life. Um, and, being in Virgo, this is earth sign energy. So this is, attention to the details, being grounded, can, have impacts on your material world, such as your job, your money, your home, family, relationships, that sort of thing. Now, the moon, when we have a full moon in one house, it's illuminating, shining across the wheel to the other side, which is in Pisces. That's where the sun is sitting. So the sun is sitting in a 12th house of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign energy, so you can feel a lot of emotions, a lot of stirring up of feelings going on around now. It's also the house of intuition. It's the house, 12th house energy is the house of endings, hidden enemies, house of intuition, dreams, illusions can be lost. So there's a lot of things going on right now. And again, you'll know what resonates with you, where this fits in for your specific situation and where it doesn't. Please don't try to make anything fit. At the same time, we are experiencing this full super moon. We are having Mercury, which has been in retrograde, get ready to go stationary. When when any planet is stationary, it makes it more powerful, more potent, more. You just feel that energy so much more. So here's the bottom of the deck. Intuition. So with that being said, is like, I really feel you are going to, sorry about this, really be, it's like quite the punch being packed right now, or a lot of impact with this full moon right here. Just between the 6th house and the 12th house, and then the Mercury going stationary the very next day, getting ready to go direct. This is, oh, look at, I just picked the deck up to start clarifying, and you got the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom. This isn't, I'm going to shuffle these decks, so this card flipped right out right away. Strength. So there's two major arcana cards right off the bat with this. I'm going to pull these two right out because for whatever reason they wanted to be here, and they for some reason it's saying to me just to keep those. So I guess what I really want to bring awareness to is, just being aware of what's going on, what's real, what's not, and being careful not to get caught up in the illusions, or because with Neptune in Pisces, the sun sitting right there as well, there are things that can, maybe this is an easy time, let me say this, an easy time to have rose-colored glasses on, or really, this dreamy mindset, or this really dreamy energy that may or may not, depending, work out in the way that you're looking at for it to, or it just may not. For some of you this is real, these dreams, and some of you it's not real, and this is going to be something that gets brought to light for you. So I want to just start right off before I start clarifying too much with the cards that are out here already. The playfulness, I have really been recommending this when I've seen this card popping up lately and expressing to people. Like, I know a lot of people have been through this really intense, heavy, restrictive energy. We've had so many planets, and, you know, Saturn and Pluto have been in Capricorn, and Capricorn's a serious enough planet as it is, or a house to be in. It's kind of, you know, where it's a very grounded and a grounded energy. It's an earth energy. A more serious note or tone is associated with that house. Let me pull this card right up. So this, I want to leave this out because I feel like this is really important. So again, with this Pisces energy and this intuition card, I feel like it's very important for you to trust your intuition. I'm also feeling very, very strongly that it's time to, you know, let go a little bit and to relax a little bit, enjoy some laughter, some fun, some lightheartedness. I feel like there's been such a serious tone and restrictive tone to the energy for quite a while now, as a matter of fact, that it's just that time to let your guard down, to let loose a little bit, to have fun. I believe it was for my members only group last night, and I believe it was Capricorn specifically who had this card in their individual reading, and I was really saying to them, you know, I know you feel like you're trying to accomplish something, you're trying to get something done and worked through, but it's blocked, and I felt like it was really blocked because they're just so focused that it's created this tension and all of this, you know, lower vibration, lower energy stuff, and it's time to break free from that. And right now is a perfect time by letting go, going out, having some fun, go to a ball game, whatever it is. I felt like they were really trying to make something or find answers or solutions to a problem. And I really recommended when I seen that card, and I think it was with the other cards around it, that it was giving this really serious message of, you know, letting go for a second, going out and having fun. And it was almost like in the reading that by doing that, they got their answer, they got their solution. And I feel like I said to them, it could be like where you finally say, okay, I'm going to go to the park, I'm going to play Frisbee, I'm going to, whatever it is you're going to go do that brings some fun and playfulness in. And then all of a sudden you meet a new connection, or, you know, or something comes through that brings that answer and that solution that you're looking for. But I feel like they've been so focused on finding the solution or fixing the problem that they're blocked, and this playfulness, this getting out and having fun is really going to open that and release right over here, release that for them. Okay, so I'm going to start clarifying this playfulness, and you got the 7 of coins. So this is someone who's thinking, who's evaluating, who's trying to figure out, you know, is this worth it? What's my way forward? You know, what is the potential outcome for this growth or this thing that I have planted? You know, the seeds that I have planted, am I going to get what I'm looking for out of this? Here is this flipped right out as well, 2 of Cups. So for some of you, I feel like if you've really been, you know, thinking about a relationship, either way I see this, what I do, the bigger picture of all of this is I feel the right people coming together, the right resources, the right connections. So for some of you, if this is a job, you know, it's like you're getting out, you're having fun, you're letting, you know, your worries, your stress, your anxiety, you're letting that stuff dissipate, you're letting go of that for a minute. And as you're doing that, it's drawing to you the resources, the people, the connections, the situations. I feel like there's something very powerful in here for you with this with this full moon as well, with the intuition card here, the awakening card, and the release card, we know when there's a full moon that our intuition is heightened. We also recognize that during a full moon that we release what no longer serves us, whether this be fears, doubts, insecurities, just whatever it is. And in the center of all of this is awakening. So there is an enlightenment that is taking place. And I feel like this has been going on for everybody anyhow. I feel like, but for whatever reason, I feel like this is a very strong and a very powerful, very pivotal time coming in for everyone. And I'll tell you, I see this and I've said this in my members group, that, some people have either been really not wanting to look at this, they haven't really been trusting their intuition, or even if they have been kind of feeling this, they're kind of been resisting this. And I'm going to say that I do not feel, and I'm so adamant about that, that this is going to end up being a very comfortable situation moving forward. We all know, and I know if you're watching this right now and this is resonating with you, you've done some really deep work over the course of the last couple years, especially 2019 into 2020. It's been very, like I said, waves of restriction, feeling really pressured, and things really heavy, that sort of thing. And I know, that a lot of you have been really working hard to work through this and, do that internal work. This is what this has all been about. And I know I have friends and people I care very much for who have been really doing all they can to, oh, nothing's wrong, it's all good, it's, shoving it underneath the rug. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to really see where that is not going to have turned out in a very favorable way as we get further into 2020. It is very important to do the inner work to heal the wounds and the things that we've had, the traumas from our lifetime. Here is the Two of Wands. So again, this, when I see this in reverse, you got two twos right here. This one specifically this came out as I'm talking about, people that were not taking, the opportunity or recognizing, going through their awakening. And this came in reverse, and I feel like we know what we've been through over the course of the last couple of years, especially 2019 into 2020. We've done that inner work. We really have to recognize, even when we felt beat right down, we've still stuck with it, worked through, healed from a lot of pains, traumas, heartaches, released a lot of old patterns and cycles. And I feel this awakening, I feel for some of you, you've done that work and now here's that turning point. And others of you who have thought you could sweep it underneath the rug or, it didn't apply to you, well, you might not be thinking that for very much longer. All right, so let me see what else. Okay, two cards. All right. So Ace of Swords in reverse this is somebody in denial. This is somebody who is not clear. Things are not clear for this person. See the butterfly at the top of this? I'm going to turn it upside down. See oops, I'm not doing a very good job. The butterfly. This is a transformation that's needing to take place, right? This is clarifying this awakening. So again, I've been talking about for people who have not been doing this inner work, and then these cards are coming out like this. So I feel like this is where that awakening, where this moment of truth, look at the bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords in reverse. I feel like this is going to be a very shocking wake-up call for some of you. For others of you, like I said, I feel like, this is where the worst is, you've pushed through or you've worked through and done the work, and you're at this pivotal point. You're, relaxing a little bit. You're releasing what's no longer serving. You've been doing that inner work. And you can tell with these two cards right here, having the strength to do that is really getting that wheel spinning for you, aligning you up with your destiny. I'm really feeling very strongly that this energy right here, this awakening with these cards right here is a message that is specifically for the people who have not done the work, who just think that you can, oh, we'll just let it go, or it'll all work out, or whatever the reason, or I just don't know why people do that. But I feel like this message is specifically for the people who have not done that work. Now, here we come to the Knight of Wands. So this is an energy of movement, and I feel like this is for everybody watching this. This is where things are moving, and in what direction they're moving is dependent on each individual and what they've been through, what they've dealt with, what they've, been honest with, seen the truth of, healed from, done that inner work, what they've released that was no longer serving them. Now you're going to see one way or another what this is representing for you, what's coming in. So for some of you, I feel like you've been going through you were going through a challenging time, maybe feeling in need of something, whether this be emotional, support, love, hardship with money, and things like that. With this card in reverse, you're coming out of this. I like this. Three of Coins. This is where those opportunities are coming in, the right people, the right resources, teamwork happening here, things coming together for you. Here is a card. I pulled this card and I wasn't going to pull another card for over here, but here is the King of Cups in reverse. Again, I'm feeling like this is not for everybody. This is kind of like that emotional, upset, disappointment kind of energy where, unfortunately, I feel like what this is representing is something coming in that's bringing a wake-up call that's not going to be a very pleasant one. It's going to be emotionally probably very challenging, draining, and it's going to be where someone has had those rose-colored glasses on, wasn't willing to look at a situation or see a situation or something for what it truly was. And now this moon, this full moon in Virgo, is going to bring the truth of this, the truth of this to the surface. Ooh, look at this card right here. See it? And when all these cups look the same, right? But you can tell some of them got like victory wreath in them, some got jewels, other things got snakes. And so somebody wasn't willing, or for whatever reason, wasn't looking at the situation for what it truly was. And now they are about to be woke up. They are about to see the truth of this situation, like it or not. All right, let's look at this release. So you had the King of Cups in reverse and the Knight of Cups. This is releasing emotionally draining situations, relationships, circumstances. This can be jobs. It's kind of like, look at this. You're releasing. You want this new passionate beginning, this new beginning that's exciting, that lights that fire for you. Look at fire energy. Both of these fire energy right here. There is an opportunity for this beautiful new beginning. what this takes is having the strength and the courage to know your worth, to stand in your power, to release the crap that no longer serves you, as you're preparing to move forward into something, to your destiny. Really, this is the card of destiny. All right, let's see what else I have here for you. I want to pull 3 cards. Oops, this one popped. Yeah, okay. Here's the bottom of the deck. This is the Fool card. This is a brand new beginning. And for some of you, you already know this brand new beginning's coming because you've been doing this work. You've already dealt with this tower right here. For others of you, maybe you were stuck making a choice. Maybe you didn't, no choice is a choice in itself. But for whatever reason, something just didn't move, or somebody didn't, do the work or recognize, or whatever it is. When this tower comes in, this tower can come in, and it will. It doesn't, it can, it will. When the tower comes up, this is about ready to break something down. Bust, tear it right up. Like, take it, demolish this. If it wasn't solid, if it wasn't secure, if it wasn't legit, if it wasn't the right thing, if it was built on, a bogus foundation through lies, deception, anything lower vibration, manipulation, anything like that, this tower is coming in to clear it up. Because at the end of the day, we're all heading towards this. It just, as we get there is all dependent on every individual and what they've done. So for others of you who have probably are feeling right now like, I have done so much, and please, I'm not one of them people that will sit there and coddle anybody who tries to pass off like, oh, I've done so much work. Really? I mean, because we know some people have, and you'll know who them people are, because they'll be the first ones that look at you and say, I've just had my ass beat and handed back to me. The other ones who are just like, oh, I'm telling you, So anyhow, to you who know, you have just worked through, you have purged, you have shed, you have gone through some deep healing, probably dark night of the soul, I'm thinking. You have really gone through some crap. And this tower for you is going to be that breakthrough moment where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bam, here is this unexpected boom, good fortune, good luck, movement forward for you. For others of you who have sat there and just, well, let me just take one more day, and, thinking that you're going to just keep moving in the same way you've been moving, here comes your wake-up call. Because with this Empress in reverse, there's been a situation where there hasn't upright. This is all about love, growth, expansion. This is a beautiful card upright. For this to be in reverse like this is not it's not a good way to see this. This is somebody who has, there's no love in this situation. There's no growth in this situation. And so somebody has really been challenged to recognize this, to deal with this, to accept this, to move on from this. And whether they have chosen to do that work or not you're about to see this come to life real quick. But again, I want to bring this card to the attention to everybody, because this is what's happening. There is this brand new path opening up. There is this new journey that's about to be embarked on. For some of you, you're all ready for this. You've already done this work. You've already recognized this stuff. You've had the strength, the courage. You've kept going. You've worked on that inner self. This has really been about doing the inner work and, putting your best self out there. This is all about your authentic self. And then there's some of you who have just been living like, okay, I'm doing it. with no growth, no expansion. I mean, this is somebody who's leaving themselves, for example, I'm saying, leaving themselves in a relationship that they know they're not in alignment with. They know their heart is not there. They want this love. They want this caring, this nurturing, but yet they're going to sit here and not even make a choice to do right by themselves by getting out of it in order to have that. Well, here comes that tower, because it's going to bust this right apart for you. And I say this all the time. It is so much better if you work with the energy than if you let it come in and bring you that tower moment. I say this all the time. People, you know, you can take it for what it is, and that's that. So let me pull just a couple more cards to wrap this up. If this resonates with you, please leave me a big thumbs up and a comment. And if it doesn't, well, I don't know what to tell you. Look, Two of Cups. Look at this. Two of Cups, Two of Cups. I'm going to tell you, every single person who is watching this video, who has just gone through some very intense shifts, changes, feeling the restrictions, all those things that I have talked about, who have really, you know, understood that they have had to do that inner work, that healing, that all of that stuff. This being, I only have 2 decks of tarot out here. This deck right here and this deck right here. And so to pull that card out of both of these decks is a big deal. Look at the moon shining right over this cup. This is it. You've waited for this time. You've put in the hard work. You deserve all this beautiful energy and in things that are going to start coming together and developing for you. You've deserved it. You've done the work. And to all of those who haven't done that work, you know, well, you're going to do the work. And look at, no doubt about it, this is the card of the Hermit. So this is where you're going to be brought into that hermit mode for that enlightenment, for you to gain this wisdom and be able to recognize, you know, the blocks that are holding you back, the things that are keeping you caught up in a repetitive cycle. And that's where you're going to be heading if you're not doing this inner work. Look at this. I'm telling you, I keep saying this every time I'm talking about the people who don't do the work. It's like these specific cards come up. Okay, see the people who've done the work, and I was talking about them. Got it twice. You got it coming together. Things are coming together for them. They're moving forward. Here they are, moving forward. They got the strength. They got the confidence. They've done the work. And look what's coming for them. Their destiny, that wheel of fortune. When I keep talking about people who have not done the work, they're getting ready to go into hermit mode. They're getting ready to be enlightened. This is the strength card in reverse. This is going to be challenging. This is someone who's struggling to have the strength, the courage to step up to the plate and just do what needs to be done. Heal themselves, you know. All right, let me pull one more card and then, oops. Oh, this one went flying. Sorry about that. I know I don't got this set up very good. I don't know why. Sorry about that. Here it is. Lovers in reverse. All about choices. I feel like I'm going to pull one more clarifying card on that, though, because it fell, but it did come in reverse. So this is all about choices. All about the choices. Choose wisely. Choose truth. Choose clarity. This is someone who will take someone's head right off if they do not come at her in the right way. They got to come in an honest, ethical way. They got to come with the truth. They got to be clear, no mind games, no manipulation, any of that crap, saying one thing, doing another. That stuff will not be favored. It will not be favored. You know, I have this deck of cards that I really love. It's an oracle deck. It's right here, as a matter of fact. I'll show it to you. It's called the Mystical Wisdom. And I typically pull cards in the morning. And for some reason, it was like the same card kept coming out over and over and over. And it was the 7 deadly traits. And I kept thinking, wow, I can't keep posting that same card every day for a general message. But it was I felt after meditating on it, thinking, why does that card keep coming? That, this is what we're being shook up and woke up to, are, the repetitive cycles and patterns that we have that are part of these 7 deadly sins. And as a matter of fact, let me get the book right out and I will tell you what these 7 deadly sins are. And that way you can recognize if you are dealing or, or sitting in any of this, because you want to release that. You want to do something about that. So I'll read you that from the book, and it's called Welcome to the World of Human Nature. The 7 deadly sins are at the root of all destructive behavior. Greed and other negative traits drive harmful human activity that impacts the quality of life on Earth, particularly the environment. It is a lack of concern for the preservation of Mother Earth and all these human destructive traits that are leading to the devastation of life on this planet. And what the 7 deadly sins mean is sloth, laziness, being physically and emotionally inactive, gluttony, overindulgence in anything to the point of waste, lust, an intense desire for physical and sexual gratification, greed, excessive pursuit of material possessions and power, wrath, extreme feelings of uncomfortable anger, envy, discontentment aroused by another's good fortune, and pride, excessive self-love and arrogance. And I'll tell you, I don't know about any of you guys, feel free to leave me a comment, but if you cannot see that happening out here day and night around, I just, it's sad, it's very discouraging. It's kind of like something that's really been, for me personally, on my path and on my, my journey so far, 2019 all the way into 2020. As a matter of fact, it started in 2019 where I really became aware, and I was really having a lot of hard time. I was very challenged with having to see some of the situations, relationships I had, and where they were like all, they weren't reciprocating. They were greedy. They were selfish. They were, I want. And it has been a very painful 2019 into 2020 for me, having to recognize that people I care very much for have been all about, what they are getting, what they are receiving, and the difference and the change in them when you start saying no or you start giving so much. And so if that's resonating with you, my heart goes out to you. I know how hard it is, but and I'm sure you've recognized you've had to do the work and say, and recognize, that no, I just can't do this. I just can't do it because it's hurting you. It is hurting you. So this is a card that flew out, the 9 of Swords. And again, so this is a lot of worry, stress, anxiety. And, there could have been a lot of sleepless nights trying to figure out what do I do about this situation. And especially if that has been you recognizing, where things have just not been balanced. And I've been preaching since last year, when we had the 2 full moons in Libra, when I talked about, there's a higher power, there's this divine intervention, there is this, balance is being restored. And I'll be damned if you haven't seen that play out for over the course of the last year. I'm sure you have, where justice is a card of karma. You've been seeing people reap what they sow. And that includes, even people who are out there, and they're always putting out that light. They're always putting out that love. They're caring, they're kind. They've got that high vibration. You've also having to see your own karma. Like when things come back at you and you're like, wow, I feel like I try to do the right things and have the right things happen. why is this coming to me? And you're kind of having to look at, like, what are you associating yourself in? What are you allowing that is not fair, that is not balanced, that is not right? And it's kind of having to do that. It is having to do that internal work and recognize where you need to offer yourself that self-love and create, implement the changes that are for your highest good. So I hope this serves you well. Sorry about how messy it looks up here, but I hope this helps you in some way, shape, or form. Please leave me a comment and a big thumbs up if this is resonating with you, and I wish you all the best of luck. Have a great day.